Roger is the strongest pirate of all time because he's the pirate king. Whitebeard is the strongest pirate of all time because he has the strongest man title. Rox is the strongest of all time because he took on Roger and Garp all at once. No, Shanks is the strongest of all time because he had the best feat in all of One Piece. And if Shanks is the strongest of all time, Mihawk is stronger because he's the world's strongest swordsman. And Shanks is a sword user. And Sanji is stronger than all of them. Now I'm playing. But you see how much factors in to being the quote-unquote strongest of all time. And we are immediately tempted to give this title to an old gen character because of the so said feats. And that era there is the Pirate King. So we automatically assume to believe that that era is the golden era because of that specific title. What if I were to tell you that the Pirate King title has nothing to do with strength? So I'm sure you're confused now. And in this video, I will break down the heavily debated old gen One Piece characters versus the current gen One Piece characters. The new gen is the worst generation and up, so those guys will not be included. But overall, they will be included in one of my points. I will save those beasts for another video. What era is stronger between the current and old gen? Why is that? And what side is the more overrated side? I want this video to be the staple of when you're arguing between which generation is stronger, and the old gen in general. This shouldn't even be a debate, and I will end it. Now hold on now. My boy Karoo, I don't know if you remember him, we all remember him, the strongest character in One Piece, has you hostage with the blick. He's been noticing that 91% of you guys are not subscribed. I want to try my GOAT Karoo, man. He doesn't like that disrespect, bro. So me and Karoo are gonna make a deal with you. Either you like it right now, or you know what I'm saying, be reasonable since you haven't watched the video yet. Watch until the end, and then subscribe, like the video, and hit the noti bell. If you don't though, Karoo is coming for you and all of your loved ones. I wouldn't risk it. I would just hit it right now, bro. Now let's get right into the video. Old gen. What a time that was. We had the strongest crew in the world at that time, the Rox Pirates. People say this is the strongest crew of all time, led by Rox D. Zebek himself, who many say is the strongest pirate to ever live. If you thought that was surprising, his crew consisted of Whitebeard. Yeah, Whitebeard as his right hand man, the quote-unquote strongest man in the world. Shiki was on this crew, one of the most forgotten powerhouses in One Piece. Under Whitebeard was Big Mom, although Big Mom was an absolute clown. Plot purposes. Yes bro, Oda needs to be slandered for Big Mom because she was a beast on the Rox Pirates. Under Big Mom was surprisingly the weakest out of the people I just named, was the young Kaido. Now my boy Kaido at the time did not have his devil fruit, while Big Mom and Whitebeard did. But still, a very hefty crew. You had those guys rolling around, and then you had the Roger Pirates. Roger, of course, the Pirate King, Rayleigh, Odin, for a short period of time, you know, Scooper Caban, who's yet to make his debut without being in a flashback. I'm very excited to see what he has in store for the One Piece story. You had a young Shanks and a young Buggy. The Roger Pirates were a very dangerous lot, but there was a crew equally as dangerous roaming around the seas, the Whitebeard Pirates, with the man himself, the powerhouse Whitebeard, Marco, Odin, Blackbeard, Vista, Jozu, Izo, and the whole fleet. A stacked crew. Now don't forget this, the Shiki Pirates were also around. Goldie Roger fought this man and he had his own little run for a while. Now with all these pirates roaming around, I don't think any of them but Roger cared about the One Piece. Whitebeard only cared about having a family. This man had a chance of knowing where the One Piece was, but he said nah, I'm in dire need of some real ass Nick to hang with. Who knew what Rox's goal was? He got packed by Roger and Garp. Speaking of Garp, you had two bad Marines. Garp and Son Goku were the only Marines to catch Roger's eyes. Now the old gen are really some monsters, but the term Pirate King level, people automatically assume that characters like Whitebeard and Garp are on this level because they fought with Roger. First of all, that level does not exist. Pirate King level should not be a thing because Roger didn't have any competition for the One Piece. Roger is a powerhouse, but since he attained what the world had to offer, it doesn't automatically make him the strongest. So now we got that out of the way, the strength of the verse generated from the old gen. They set the bar for the generations to come. Now as you know, the old gen are monsters, but these are the most overrated guys in One Piece history. Again, like I said, the whole Pirate King thing, and the audacity for some people to put the old versions of these characters above current gen characters. You guys gotta understand, as you get older, you get slower. you're less powerful. Even in some cases like Whitebeard, you are sick and overall all your attributes diminish. So far, the couple of things we established in this video: 1. Pirate King levels a myth. 2. The old gen in their primes are monsters. 3. The old gen, once they get older, they got surpassed by the current gen monsters. We all agree? We good? We Gucci? Alright, so now the current gen, led by Mr. Starboy, Oda's favorite. He was on Roger's crew alongside Buggy. Guys, do not lose hope in Buggy yet. The live action is making me think that this guy will be dangerous in the future. Remember when I said the old gen basically gave a stage to the current gen? First with Roger's speech, wealth, fame, power. Second, which was very noticeable, was Shanks and Roger. You could tell he was a Roger Glazer. Cause bro,
get off that nigga dick, bro. What is you doing?
All jokes aside, with his feats, it's not ridiculous to say he has the best hockey of all time. Now, like I said in the intro, the guy who might have the best hockey of all time gets surpassed because he's a sword user. In Shanks' prime, my goat Mihawk is in the same era, and he gets crowned the world's strongest swordsman. Blackbeard was on Whitebeard's ship in the old gen, and he really didn't start making his moves until Luffy started making his moves, so Blackbeard is really a part of the new gen. Otherwise, he would be a main part of this video, but I don't want to get into all of that. Akainu, Aokiji, and Kizaru. These are the main Marines, the strongest force in Marine history. The narrator would not say that for no reason. These guys are powerhouses. Now, in my opinion, the strongest of this generation, who mainly dominated this generation, he was in the old one, but as I mentioned earlier, he was not in his prime. Kaido, the world's strongest creature, showed why he was the strongest in the verse with his recent performance. And he was getting a little up there in age, but he's still an all-around beast. Now, there are many more beasts, just like how there are many more old gen beasts. But let me get to my point. The old gen is heavily overrated. The competition in that era was just flat out non-existent. Most of the legendary battles were just Roger and Garp going at it. Whitebeard's crew barely had any competition. How credible is really that world's strongest man title? How strong is Shiki really? Is Roger a fraud for even going extreme diff with him? You guys love to put the old gen on this level where they won't be topped. Shanks' first ever feat was literally one-tapping a character who defeated one of the old gen old farts. I know, Big Mom was part of the old gen, but in my opinion, I think she was stronger then than she is now. There's no way that she could get defeated by 2 new gen pirates that easily. Horrible performance by her. If she even did what Kaido did, even 50% of that, I would say she was in her prime at that moment. I know she fought him for 2 days, but that doesn't mean anything when you get defeated by 2 new gen pirates. I know Kaido got defeated by Luffy, but after fighting the whole Onigashima. Literally, Big Mom didn't help this guy on rooftop. So in my opinion, she was stronger back then, when she wasn't fat as fuck. She is part of the old gen, I don't care guys. And Kid was one of the guys who defeated her, and Shanks one-tapped him. Shanks is that guy. And guess what? Mihawk is stronger. Don't get me started on the admirals. Whitebeard is my favorite old gen member. He was quote-unquote stated that he could destroy the world. Me yapping so far in this video made me rethink if that statement is even credible at all. This guy saying Goku probably is so fodder to the point where Whitebeard probably did a quake or something back in his prime, and this garbage guy saying Goku thought it was the world collapsing or something. Real talk, in Marineford, the audacity that some people have, saying Whitebeard walked into Akainu's house and dominated. Akainu absolutely embarrassed this man. It be the anime watchers, bro. If you're from the old gen and you are aged and you walk into the current gen thinking you're that guy, I'm sorry, bro, you can't hang. Bring the Pirate King level Roger, the strongest of all time, in his mid-60s. Let the guy walk up to Mihawk, who's stronger than, he's getting annihilated. Garp tried walking up to Aokiji in his prime. We all know what happened. Now that we got that established, you agree, right? You agree? Now let's talk about the old gen in their primes versus current gen. Now the old gen get praised for their hockey clashes and their fierce battles. I'm sorry, but that's the bare minimum. A hockey clash from Kaido and a random 19-year-old who isn't even in his prime yet literally split the skies, wiped all the clouds away, just like some 2 old gen guys I know. Roger and Garp, 2 top tiers, were needed to defeat one guy. You guys could use these little feats, but Shanks one-tapped the guy, and he showed a little bit of his hockey on his debut. And say it again with me, Mihawk is stronger than this guy. Prime Garp, He got his whole marine strength stripped from him when the admirals got the title of the strongest force in Navy history. No offense, but Aokiji was literally stated to be the strongest in the Navy when Garp was around. Aokiji punched the same hole in the battleship bag just like Garp. Now you might see a pattern here. The old gen is below the current gen, and the current gen is below the new gen. It's a simple system. You already see Luffy defeating the quote-unquote strongest creature in the world. At some point, the feats will keep getting better and better and better. You seen Roger and Whitebeard, the Conqueror's Clash. We said, oh my god, these are some monsters, they can't be topped. And it gets topped in the same arc. The old gen is a foundation of the series, a bar for the strength, for it to be surpassed. It's common knowledge that the current gen will surpass the old gen. Does that mean every character from the current gen beats the old gen? Not necessarily. We don't even know how Rox was defeated. It took two powerhouses to defeat him. Now I think Whitebeard's title of him being capable to destroy the world and the world's strongest man title could mean something, but in overall categories, he could be topped. He could have a weakness. That is why we need more feats from the old gens in their primes. An established fight, a full fight that we could see exactly how strong they were. Seeing them in their weaker versions is just setting these debates up for failure. We see Garp slicing an island level head in half, and we automatically say that this is an old Garp, a prime Garp would demolish the island. That is his headcanon. What we do know is how strong Shanks really is. His hockey is something we have never seen before, and we have to say yet again, we have someone stronger than him. We do know that Akainu and Aokiji are relative. They have advanced hockey and could go toe to toe with pretty much anyone in the verse. Kaido literally took out 14 pirates all at once, showing how dominant he was, the most dominant performance in the series. These are their primes. We see in all of their feats, we can gauge how strong these characters are. We can't really gauge how strong the old gen are. We're about to see an Admiral and a Yonko go all out right now. I'll know the moment where the new gen might surpass the current gen. The lack of feats and the headcanon levels are just being thrown around in the One Piece community. That needs to stop. A simple system of saying, we seen the old gen do very impressive feats, and we already seen these feats get topped by new gen or current gen character, and the old gen will simply get power cliffed. Now Oda might pull a complete 180 and prove me wrong, and make the old gen the strongest of all time, and the current gen and the new gen can never surpass them. But I just don't see it, and I don't think that will happen at all. What we haven't seen so far that can't be topped, you know what it is. Now that we got that situated right, you agree, right? You agree that the old gen got pyro cliffed? In conclusion, the old gen are powerful, but the way that the narrative goes is that their feats will get topped by the current gen feats, and the current gen feats will get topped by the new gen feats. Then you can rank the characters accordingly. Now in rankings, I always see Rox at 1, Roger at 2, Whitebeard at 3, Garp at 4, you know, the old gen characters always at the top. But their feats are flat out not impressive to me anymore. Kaido's dominant performance flat out negs everything that featless Zebek did. Shanks, you know, I'm not even gonna repeat him again, and who's stronger than him. Akainu dominated the world's strongest man. Don't get me started on my goat Blackbeard. Oh, but why didn't Whitebeard split the skies? Oh, Garp destroyed some marine mountains. Thank you guys for watching till the end of the video. I know some of my goats agreed, and some of you guys loved the video and already subbed. You other people think I yapped like crazy and think I don't know what I'm talking about. If you watched the whole video and are still confused, you old gen guys are seriously insane. You guys just don't see the light. Keep thinking that your goat Roger, the Pirate King, slams anyone in the verse. Oh, Rox, oh my god, Zebek negs. You NPCs join the agenda, become a current gen / new gen fan. Thank you guys for making it until the end of the video, and you boys have a wait. Even though you think I yapped, you made a deal with me and Karoo. Be a man of your word, or you're getting hit with the blick by my goat Karoo. Come on now. Matter of fact, Karoo, roll the blick.